sometimes the trees that are the bushes that the goats want to eat are a little bit too tall. And so right now, especially while they're younger, you have to do something to either get the bush down to their level or of course bring them up to the other level. So occasionally, if the goats are kind of running a little bit low on bushes, but they'd like to eat some more, I mean, right now they have plenty of grass out here, but I would like for them to eat these bushes. What I do is I come and I push them down, but this one was too big for me to break, so I'm sitting on it and holding it down so the goats can all get some good forage. And it keeps cracking, and I'm thinking eventually with all them standing on it and me sitting on it, it's gonna break, and then I'm gonna come falling down. And I'm sure you would love for me to get that on video, but I have no idea when it's gonna happen, so I'll just tell you about it later. So the kids have named this goat Lillian. She's the only black goat that we have. When we first got her, she looked pretty good, but her hair was starting to curl a little bit, like even along her back where it looks really nice and smooth right now. It just didn't look like it was supposed to look. It didn't look like some of the other goats that had nice smooth coats. We started to see a couple of other goats that didn't have a real good smooth coat, but hers was the most visible one that you could tell was problematic. And so did a little bit of reading, and I hope I can find a picture of the way it was before, because it is 10 times better now than it was.
All right, let me get a picture. Come here, Lillian.
So we can call her.
You're the only black one, so you're easy to tell. Look at me, Lillian. Let me see your little tag.
I know, I'm just...
Oh, that's some sweetness.
And what we did was we copper bolused really all of the goats, because we did see in some of them that their coats were not what they should be, and we weren't certain about, even though they were getting copper from their mineral, we weren't certain about how well they were absorbing that cotton. You can see that here, this is our big girl right here, Button 2403, our heaviest one. But anyways, her coat, very good, very clean, got a good shine to it even. That's what we want out of the goats. That means that they're not mineral deficient. In particular, they're not copper deficient, but it means they're not mineral deficient generally. And it means they're in pretty good health. That's just one aspect of their good health, but that's one of the ways that you can tell if something's off in their diet, in their mineral consumption. But anyway, so we copper bolused all of them based on their weight, and I'll go into a little bit more what copper bolusing is here in just a bit. But she looks so much better as far as her coat is concerned. Yeah, they're all looking pretty good. They've all got a pretty good coat. Some of them are a little bit more wiry haired than other, but they're not all 100% boar, and they do have a little bit of variation in their coats as well. Won't chew it.
Nope.
Did it, so these are our first attempts at copper bolusing the goats. What we found out very early is they don't like it. Of course, it's a big pill, or it's not that big, but it's a pill that you have to shove down their throat and get them to swallow it. So what we found out after practice and time after time was that you really have to get the bawlin gun past the back of the tongue of the goat. If you don't do that, they will immediately pull the copper bolus back up into their mouth, chew it a couple of times, and spit it out. And once they chew it up, you just can't put it back in. It's no good. Some people try and do this by putting it in the feed. I had read different things. I really just wanted it to go straight down the throat of the goat so that it could pass into the abomasum, the true stomach of the goat, and hopefully be the most successful at putting the copper into the stomach. So a couple of these were very bad. The goats if they were just a little bit taller, it would be a whole lot easier to do because I could hold them better with my legs. And I'm always afraid of smashing them with my legs, and then at the same time, I don't want to let them go because then we have to catch them again. So, anyways, it's all new, it's all different, and we failed over and over and over again. But by about the 12th or 13th goat, we finally realized that you really have to get it back very deep.
2407, 2 grams.
All right, let's talk just a little bit about copper bolusing. Told you that we have done it. We did it earlier this year because we saw some problem with the goat's coat, and that is one indication of copper deficiency and maybe other mineral deficiency as well. So, copper bolus is just a pill, essentially, that has little copper rods in it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here. Okay, so this is what we used. We have two different sizes. These are 4-gram copper boluses, and you can see the picture of what it looks like there. These are 4 goats. So 4 grams, and then these are 2-gram copper boluses. So depending on size and weight, you might give 2 gram, you might give 4 gram. So the instruction on this says that, let's see here, goats over 50 pounds body weight and over 3 months of age, 1 4-gram capsule. Single dose typically lasts 8 months to 1 year. Okay. This is the 2-gram. Kids over 25 pounds and over 5 weeks of age, 1 2-gram capsule. A single dose typically lasts 8 months to a year. So we're not using these for worm control, for barber pole worm control, but they have been proven to reduce barber pole worm. One of the papers that I read said as much as 75%, I believe is in Arkansas, that study was completed. So it has been shown that good copper content for your mineral that they're actually absorbing will actually reduce that barber pole worm, which we've already had to treat for, and hopefully having good copper in their system will reduce the need for that in the future. So for our bigger goats, because all of our goats are over that 3 months of age, since we bought them, they've been over that. So for our bigger goats, close to 50 pounds and over, we were using the 4-gram. For our smaller goats, probably about 45 pounds and under, we were using the 2 grams per capsule, or the 2-gram capsules for each one. I've read the more instructions for copper bolusing. For a general rule of thumb is actually 1 gram per 22 pounds, which would be about half of what we're doing here. I just followed the instructions on these. Copper toxicity is an issue. It's a greater issue in sheep than it is in goats, but you can have copper toxicity in goats as well. We have not seen any issues. Like I said, it's been 8 to 10 weeks since we've done these, and we've seen no issues from it so far. So let's open one of these up. You can see, let's see if I can open one of these with one hand. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. So this is the 2-gram. Okay, open that up. So I can get this off of here. It comes with a little seal on the top of it. And open that up. Okay, so this is 2-gram copper bolus. And you can see here, I can get it the right length. That is your copper bolus right there. So it has a bunch of little wires inside of it. And they swallow this, it makes its way down into the abomasum, which is the last stomach of the 4 stomachs of the goat, and is the best, is the place where it will absorb the nutrients. So these actually, from what I understand, embed in kind of the folds inside of the stomach and slowly release over time, so that the goat remains, or is not copper deficient. And these last, like the thing said, about 8 months. So that's a 2 gram. Let's pick out one of these 4 grams, which are larger. And then we'll talk about the bawlin gun. Okay, so this is your 4 gram. So you can see the difference between the two here. Let me get one of these other ones. You can see the difference here. So they're both decent size, but the goats eat stuff. They eat sticks, so not really worried about them swallowing these things. And then what you have to do is, this is your bawlin gun. You can get these. I bought this one because it had some good reviews. It's stainless steel. It has a really hard rubber tip. It's spring loaded, and I just thought it would last longer. So we'll see over time if it does or doesn't. But anyways, what you do is you take the copper bolus, which I have in my hand. It's hard to tell because of the shadows. Should probably shoot this video from another angle. And you stick it in there. So this is probably made for cattle. I don't know, for larger boluses. So I'm sure you can probably get a smaller one of these. As you can see, if you look down in there, the bolus is in there. But if I'm, turn this upside down, let's see if I can get it the right angle. If I turn this upside down, it will fall out, okay? So what we do is we take and we put a little bit of peanut butter down in there, and then put the copper bolus in, and it stays, and it's not that big of an issue. And I don't know if goats like peanut butter or not, but it's sticky and it's an easy way to do it. And I think I read somewhere that some people do that. But anyways, so you take this and you put a little bit of peanut butter in, you put the bolus in, all right? And then once you get it down into the mouth and at the back of the mouth past the throat, when you push the thing at the end, it kind of just injects the bolus into the back of their throat. And so you inject it, and then you go on to the next one, hopefully, if they will actually swallow it and not chew it up to bits. So that is your bawlin gun. 4 gram copper boluses, 2 gram copper boluses. All right, Cinta, make this easy on me, please. No such thing. Hard to swallow, come on. Ah.
Yep.
Is this a 4?
It's 2.
I don't think it was bigger.
It says 2. I'll double check. 2407, 2 grams.
Okay. What is her weight?
I don't know. 2407, 42.7.
All right, I was thinking she was 44 and a half.
Just eat it.